First with breaking news. First with new information. 19 News starts now with a first alert for severe weather.
After a pounding this morning, we are now bracing for the next round of storms.
It is a 19 first alert weather day, as is tomorrow. Strong winds, heavy rains. That is the biggest threat. Thanks for joining us first at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus. I'm Nicole Versansky.
Now, Brian Duffy, let's get right to 19 first alert meteorologist Andy Chilian for what, Andy, we can expect for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, the rest of the afternoon, honestly, is really not looking too bad. It is tonight and then tomorrow late in the afternoon where our next rounds of storms are going to be focused. Right now, this is New Philadelphia. We've been in these clouds all day after that morning round of storms. We've been seeing some storms form close to Tuscarawas County this afternoon, but right now we are in this lull. The biggest thing is that it is humid. 82 feels like 87 in Akron. How about 85 feels like 92 in Sandusky? Really, really humid out there. But the instability has been tapered down after these morning storms. Radar, if you zoom in real closely, there's like a few sprinkly showers moving off the lake towards the lake shore. Really not much right now. These are the storms I'm focused on, not impacting the area, but this is where those boundaries were left behind from the morning storms. You see just outside of Tuscarawas County, there's some of those storms, as well as this one near Columbus. So we may see sort of a northward back building of this over the next few hours, I'd say especially along and south of US 30 this evening. Otherwise, we're waiting for the overnight hours to see that next opportunity for some storms to move through, as temperatures will be falling into just the 70s and the humidity will stick around. But we have the 19 first alert weather day continuing through tomorrow. So tonight and then tomorrow late afternoon and evening as our next rounds of storms that could be severe with damaging wind gusts and heavy rain. I'll time it out for you with the latest data coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And we are seeing extensive damage across our area today. The Chardon Fire Department sent us this video. Look at that pop. That spark, that's actually a transformer right outside the department. South Hamden, between the square and Huntington, had to be closed while crews worked then to fix the power line. Firefighters are using this as a reminder to stay away from any downed wires.
Well, from the east side to the west side, that storm left a trail of damage across several communities. At 3, you saw how the mess was left behind in Rocky River. All new at 4, Brittany Weir live for us now with how some other folks on the west side are cleaning up. Brittany.
Yes, Brian, we've been on Lake Road all morning long, driving up and down. And if you did the same thing, you probably saw it lined with a bunch of tree branches from this morning's storm. But specifically right here on Avalon Drive in Rocky River, you're going to see this massive tree. We're told it's about 100 feet tall when it was standing up down here, still in the middle of the road. But also something interesting, it ripped up this driveway. You see that concrete just kind of ripped up there from the roots. The tree, when it fell, it took down power lines. Like we said, it's still blocking the road, but Rocky River isn't the only area that was hit hard. We saw this widespread damage all across the west side, specifically over in Westlake. Just before 8 this morning, a tulip tree more than 100 feet tall toppled onto Avalon Drive at Lake Avenue in Rocky River. It took down power lines, blocked the road, and snapped a utility pole. Joe Bain lives here. He was on his way to work downtown when it happened. The tree's roots had grown underneath his driveway for years, and when it fell, there was no stopping the damage.
Obviously, the roots were underneath the driveway, and when it lifted up, it just pulled the driveway right out. So I guess someone was telling me it's time for a new driveway.
A few miles away in Westlake, the same story on Horseshoe Boulevard at Hilliard. Another large tree came down, and this one also snapping a utility pole and blocking the road. The storm left a clear path of destruction across the west side.
We've got a lot of big old trees around here, and I'm happy it didn't hit anyone, cars or house.
And Joe says the destruction to his property is one thing, but losing his power is just another. He spoke to crews this morning, and they said he most likely won't get the lights back on for another 3 days. In Rocky River, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Significant damage. Okay, if you haven't already, download the free 19 First Alert weather app. Just scan this QR code. It's a really great tool to have as more storms are expected. As you heard Andy mention, tonight get push alerts for your specific location.
Well, it was looking like the trial for two former Canton officers charged in the 2024 death of Frank Tyson was set to start today or maybe even tomorrow.
But in a very interesting turn, just as jury selection was getting underway, both officers here took plea deals. They were facing reckless homicide charges. Dan DeRose anchored our coverage and is here, Dan, with how this all played out.
Yeah, this really was kind of a surprise. We were expecting to do gavel-to-gavel coverage on the trial. Let's walk you through this case. We're talking about the two Canton officers, Bo Schoenege and Camden Birch. They were both charged with reckless homicide in the death of Frank Tyson. Now, the video we're about to show you, want to warn you, these are the last moments of Mr. Tyson's life. Remember this case. Take a look at the video. He crashed his car through a telephone pole, and then he just simply took off. He abandoned his own vehicle. You can see the airbag went off. Where did he go? He went in this AMVETS post. That is a private military post. They asked him to leave. They called police. You can see as soon as police got there, a struggle ensued, and you can see the knee on the upper back of Mr. Tyson. Now, Schoenege, who could have faced reckless homicide if convicted, he pleaded guilty today to failure to perform dereliction of duty, failure to perform his duty. Now, Camden Birch had to plead guilty to failure to report a crime, both of which had to resign as Canton police officers. They could technically get a job somewhere else. After the hearing, we heard from both family, the attorney, and the prosecuting attorney.
Watch the video. Watch the video. Slow it down. Then you'll see who killed my brother. They was involved with it. They let it happen. So I don't care about them cops.
The family was advised every step of the way as to what this process was going to be. And in the end, they agreed to the plea that took place.
These two men, particularly by virtue of their actions on April 18th, should never be police officers. What is the...
Now, the attorneys or the two former officers, they did not speak after today's hearing. They expect sentencing to be sometime in maybe mid-September, facing a max of 90 days in jail, a max of 30 days in jail. Whether they see any of that time, we'll have to wait, and that'll be up to the judge.
President Trump says the United States is, quote, low-keying negotiations with Iran. But the latest demands coming out of Iran could further strain any deal to end the conflict. This comes as a Trump administration brokered deal in the Gaza Strip appears to be falling apart. Natalie Brand has the story.
With Iran demanding compensation from the U.S. as a condition for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump Monday is making his own demand.
They asked for money for the damage that we've done. I said, that's a good idea. Well, we're going to ask for money for the damage they've done over a 50-year period.
Adding that he's instructed his representatives to put this into all future negotiations. It comes after what appeared to be a setback this weekend in the effort to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Revolutionary Guard is insisting the U.S. lifts the naval blockade, removes economic sanctions, and releases frozen assets, as well as agree to war damage reparations.
The conditions that the Iranians have put on opening the strait would be unacceptable to the United States.
With oil prices rising on the news Monday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent defended the military operation while visiting troops in South Carolina.
We are showing our adversaries that the United States, we stand up for our allies, we stand up for our values.
The Trump administration has argued the U.S. military operation is putting continued economic pressure on Tehran, which could bring them to the negotiating table.
But lawmakers critical of the administration's strategy argue a potential deal could benefit Iran.
What a victory for Iran that at the end of this war, they get paid to reopen the strait. They get paid to rebuild their military. They get paid to rebuild their support for proxies in the region.
An advisor to one of Iran's chief negotiators suggested their plan is to string the administration along until President Trump's term ends. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump's 15-point plan to end the fighting between Israel and Hamas took a blow when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced Israel would not pull out of Gaza and southern Lebanon until Hamas completely disarms.
Now your top 4 at 4. Our top story today, storm damage. This is on the west side today. There are big trees down everywhere on the west side. Lydian Avenue at Warren Road. This one also took out power lines. Fire crews warning to be careful when you drive through these areas where you see trees down. Avoid those wires that are down for sure and stay away, way far away from debris.
2 former Canton officers charged in the 2024 death of Frank Tyson while in police custody. They took plea deals today. Camden Birch pleaded guilty to failure to report a crime. He needs to retire immediately and faces 30 days in prison. Bo Shonagi pleaded guilty to dereliction of duty. He resigned immediately and faces 90 days in prison. Sentencing is in September, according to Tyson's family. During Tyson's arrest, you can hear on police body camera, Tyson tell officers he can't breathe. The officer had his knee on his back at the time.
Fast-moving fires in the west. The so-called bug fire is burning in Reno, getting dangerously close to homes there. There are numerous evacuations in Canada. British Columbia has declared a state of emergency as fires burn near Washington State. People there are on high alert after hundreds of homes were destroyed in Spokane.
Skates has a new home. Remember him? The dog was abandoned behind Lorraine Skate World back in May. After 4 days alone, he was rescued and brought to the Friendship Animal Protective League in Elyria. The APL enrolled Skates in a training program at Grafton Correctional Institute. Skates learned basic commands, returned to the shelter, and yesterday he walked out with a new family who says he is now thriving in his new home.
It's great to hear. Well, federal investigators are now looking into whether the operator of a capsized boat in New York Harbor was running an illegal charter.
The NYPD says 46-year-old Manuel Hernandez is already facing 13 counts of reckless endangerment. Police say there were 14 people on board Saturday night. 12 of them survived, but a mother and her 5-month-old baby died. People on board another boat helped rescue survivors who were then rushed to the hospital for treatment.
They're going to look at all of those things: size of the boat, current in the area, water temperature, safety equipment, license for the captain, and just how the heck the boat overturned.
I don't know what to say. It's tragic, especially such a young baby and a young mom.
The Coast Guard is encouraging people to be vigilant about getting on a for-hire boat, asking the captain for credentials and proof of the boat's inspection status and safety equipment, like life jackets.
This is a 19 First Alert breaking traffic alert.
All right, breaking traffic alert now. This is 90 eastbound. This is on the east side, so this is leaving downtown, middle of rush hour. This is live video just past 152nd Street. You can see the next exit is going to be 185th, then East 200. You can see 3 lanes are blocked. Police and fire on the scene, down to 1 lane there.
We're not sure. We don't know at this point exactly what happened, some sort of accident, but traffic is getting by slowly. However, it is backed up to almost Eddy Road. As soon as we get any information, we will bring it to you here first at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus.
Breaking news now, first at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus. Cleveland police using DNA evidence now to crack a 22-year-old cold case.
Naomi Fales was found stabbed to death inside a vacant apartment building near East 105th Street. This was back in 2004. But now Angelo Smith is locked up and charged with her murder. Prosecutor Michael O'Malley says forensic genetic genealogy was the key to solving the case. All right, also breaking at this hour, a construction worker is dead and 2 others are injured after a car hit them. This is near Long Island, New York. 1 victim we do know suffered serious injuries. A 3rd man's injuries were not considered life-threatening. The driver was taken into custody. The construction workers were contractors working for Suffolk County on a paving project.
Also breaking, the Akron Zoo will be closed for the remainder of the day. During the storms, a tree came down, knocked out a perimeter fence. The fence is not connected to any animal habitats. habitats, and all animals remain safe and secure. Zoo officials are evaluating the fence repairs and will decide if the park is able to reopen on Tuesday or will remain closed.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
Continuing coverage now on this 19 First Alert Weather Day. We've been showing you some of the damage from what is really the first round.
Yeah, at the Akron Zoo, west side, east side. Now we're getting ready for what's coming tonight. 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian is tracking it all.
All right, Andy, you told us earlier that you thought maybe the rest of the day were okay, but we got to watch what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, tonight some scattered storms will be out there, and then tomorrow afternoon and into the evening there's a final push of storms, and that's why we have the 19 First Alert Weather Day tomorrow as well. So tonight I really don't expect a line of storms. Looks like it's going to be more scattered, so not every location may get a lot of rain, but we'll be watching for that. As we head through tomorrow, we're looking at another round coming late in the afternoon and evening. That can be a line of storms that is certainly has the potential to be severe. And then after that, we're taking a look at your First Alert 7-day that shows quieter weather on Wednesday, a spot shower or two, but that front pushing out of the area. Now it's back on Thursday. We'll have scattered showers. Really picks of the week, Friday and Saturday. We'll be near 80. We'll have some sunshine, lower humidity. That'll be the biggest key. And then our storm risk returns on Sunday and into Monday, a few showers lingering there, as temperatures will pretty much be steady in these low to mid 80s. Really no major changes there. And we'll have mornings generally starting in the 60s. It'll be cooler to start Saturday morning as well. So we do need to watch out in these next, I would say, about 24 hours or so for a couple more rounds of storms. But at least for this evening, a lot of us are quiet out there. I'll show you where some storms are getting close by to our region now and what we can expect with the timing of the storms coming up here in just a bit.
Well, we've got high school athletes from around the country, right here in Northeast Ohio, competing in what is called the Patriot Games.
The White House-backed event wraps up tomorrow, and President Trump is coming to town to see the finale. 19 News reporter Catherine Huntley has the story.
Harpersfield, a small township in Ashtabula County, is decorated and ready to show off for President Donald Trump and the Patriot Games. Trustees help pull resources together to plant flowers and lots of flags.
Just a lot of people working together just to make the area look amazing, and I think we really pulled it off.
President Trump is coming for the final day of the White House-backed Freedom 250 Patriot Games Tuesday. It's a national athletic competition at Spire Academy featuring teens from around the country. There's one boy and one girl from every state, U.S. territory, and tribal nation. And the two winners get $125,000 in scholarship prize money. Harpersfield is excited to put its best foot forward.
It's Harpersfield, and we love our community, and we've had a lot of community volunteers help us, and there's just been a lot of pride in what we can showcase to the people that are coming from all over the country.
Trump visited Spire on the campaign trail back in 2016, but this is the first time the trustees believe a sitting president has been here for an official visit.
There's no doubt it's a politically divisive time for the United States of America right now, but the people here in Harpersfield are proud to be welcoming a president here to town.
It's something remarkable to have a president, no matter who he or she is, be here in your own town. And for me, it's not necessarily about that. It's about how Harpersfield can represent itself and how we can make the people that are coming here feel welcome.
But while the township wants everyone to feel welcome, drivers should expect more crowds. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says to avoid the area if you don't need to be here. In Harpersfield, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force is offering a reward for help finding a fugitive. 32-year-old Jessica Dothard is wanted for aggravated burglary. Dothard is known to hang out in Youngstown, Akron, Cleveland areas. She's 5'5", weighs 137 pounds. If you know where she is, call 1-866-4-WANTED. Tips can be made anonymously.
Well, check your fridge and pantry. There is a fresh round of summer bacteria warnings to start the week. Karen Kafa has the latest from Washington and how this summer has been so dangerous, from the salad bar to the beach.
More than a dozen Taylor Farms products, ranging from burritos to salsa to guacamole, and sold at major retailers across 26 states, are being recalled because they include jalapeno peppers that may be contaminated with salmonella.
Check your refrigerator, check your freezer, make sure you don't have any of the recalled product.
and be informed of the risks.
Consumers are urged to discard any recalled products immediately, and Taylor Fresh Foods says refunds are available at the point of purchase. And the company says it's no longer sourcing food from the company the products came from. The latest recall comes amid the ongoing investigation into the multi-state Cyclospora outbreak. Barbara Kowalczyk, director of the Institute for Food Safety and Nutrition Security at George Washington University, says summer is prime season for these concerns.
These pathogens, whether it's a parasite or a bacteria, really do like hot, humid weather. So we have kind of our Cyclospora season, our Salmonella season. And unfortunately, we're in that right now.
But James Rogers, director of Food Safety at Consumer Reports, says it's tough to tell right now why this summer has seen so many of these headlines.
It's going to take some backwards investigation once these outbreaks and this season is done to really kind of identify what's going on.
Meanwhile, in Louisiana, health officials are warning beachgoers about a flesh-eating bacteria found in coastal waters that's seen an uptick in cases this summer and has killed at least 5 people. Eating raw or undercooked shellfish from those waters, particularly oysters, can also lead to infection. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.